The subservient sacrifice. Welcome back to Book 5, the channel that helps you live a more holistic life. This is your host, Jay Is, and today we are going to continue our series on the black male image, state of crisis. And the image that we will focus on today is the subservient and sacrificial black male. Now, this image is one of those images that are either on par or or more used than our last one, which was the weak incompetent male. They both seem to be running neck and neck, really. And the subservient sacrifice is one of those images that you're just gonna see, consistently in the media. And it's this idea that the black man is he has to use his being to benefit everyone around him other than himself. And if he uses this um to benefit himself, he is socially unacceptable in some type of way. That's one of the themes that you will see reoccurring alongside of this imagery. And you got this thing where uh the black man really has to sacrifice his life for really people who don't look like him. He's always sacrificing his life for some white woman or some white man, and occasionally a black woman. But he's never, ever taken his life and doing what is best for him in those scenarios. And you might say, well, they're just movies and they're following a certain narrative, which is could be true. But when you start to have this thing, consistently over and over and over again, you have to question, why is this here? This is here. This is done on purpose. This is here for a reason. When we talk about the sacrificial, one of the movies that come to mind is Alien, the Alien series. I believe it's like Alien 2 or Alien 3. I'm not too sure. The Alien series with Sigourney Weaver. Charles S. Dutton is a character on one of these aliens, and he is a prisoner on some kind of space colony where prisoners go. And somehow Ridley, the main character played by Sigourney Weaver, is up here on this colony, and and while they're on the colony, the aliens get loose and it gets crazy, right? The aliens get loose and it gets buck wild. Anyway, it is a scene where Ridley and Charles S. Dutton is making an escape. Now, of course, during the whole movie, it's this whole redemption thing. Charles S. Dutton is on a road to self redemption. Okay, he's come to terms with he's done wrong in the world, and he wants a way to atone. Okay, so they're gonna set it up like that, of course, right? So it's going to be plausible deniability for what they actually did here. So anyway, they're trying to make their escape, and the alien is hot on their trail, and they're going through this hatch, and Charles S. Dutton's character says, you go ahead, telling Ridley to just go ahead without him and close the door. Now, when you look at this, there is no reason why this man told her to go through that hatch and close the door. They both had enough time to get through there. Whatever he think he was going to do, as in slowing up that alien, wasn't going to do the trick. I don't even think he had a weapon. If he did, it was really it was ineffective, compared to what this alien was going to do. You're not he it did nothing for the end goal, is my point. So anyway, really, she's imploring him, no man, come on, don't do this, why are you doing this isn't right. And he gives some old heartfelt, well, I don't know if it's heartfelt, but some deep, oh no, this is my way to atone type of thing. You deserve to go on, not me, this type of whole thing. So she closes the hatch, and the alien rips him to shreds, right? um, and you might say, okay, well, he was on the road to self redemption, so he sacrificed himself in his last act that he felt he had control over. All right, fine. That's cool and all that, but why? Why is it that every time this happens, it's for someone who does not look like you? Is never another black man that you're sacrificing for. We went through this last on our last episode when we talked about the subservient male and all the interconflict with the men and the black men. When we pointed out the Black Panther thing, no black man sacrificed for another black man on that in that movie. All the sacrifice came for people who did not look like you, whether it was a woman or whether it was a racial difference. So now here we go. We back on this with the alien thing, and he sacrificed for Ridley, Sigourney Weaver's character, and again for no good reason. From what I remember watching it, it didn't even accomplish anything. So you have this thing where they continue to be sacrificial, um, at the expense of their own uh, at their at the expense of their own uh, uh, prosperity. I think Malcolm X has a quote where he says, "Self-preservation is the first rule of nature." Right, or the first rule of nature is self-preservation. If we continuously see black males not practicing self-preservation, what does that say? That says that, if it is indeed a natural law, that is saying that we behave unnaturally. And once we start setting up a foundation to say these people operate unnaturally, then we are treated in an unnatural way. And let's just forget about how people on the outside is treating us, right? We talking about um, how we start to treat ourselves. We start to treat ourselves in an unnatural way because we believe that this behavior that we're doing of sacrificing and being subservient is the is our in our nature when it's not. So now, right, you have you have Charles S. Dutton. Another one comes to mind is the Matrix. The Matrix trilogy is one of my one. It's up there. It's one of my top movies, if not my favorite movie. The Matrix may be my favorite movie of all time. But anyway, um, it's a scene where Morpheus and the gang, they going on a black ops mission, and they're going on this mission, and Cipher, one of the characters, he's selling them out, and drops their location to the agents. So the agents come running down on them. Now the agents come run down on them, and they're crawling through the wall, and they're trying to escape and everything. And one of the agents get a hold of Neo by the neck or by the shoulder or whatever, however they had him. And this agent has his hands on Neo. And out of all the characters who are in this wall, who jumps out to save Neo? Of course, it's Morpheus, right? It's Morpheus. And again, you might say, well, Morpheus is the leader. He's supposed to be sacrificing for his team, this the mission he's leading, and blah blah. And I understand all that, and you're absolutely right. But again, why again now is it a character who he's sacrificing for doesn't look like him? Why wasn't the one black and Morpheus white? Why wasn't Morpheus black and the one black? Why the one wasn't white and Morpheus was white? We could have done any of those combinations, but they decided not to, right? So now you got this another black man putting his life on the line for this white person. Um, and so boom, they he goes down there, he gets them off of Neo's neck, and I believe Neo or one of them say, "Hey, yo, we can't leave Morpheus in here like that." And Trinity says, "Oh, yes, we can. We gotta go, and we gotta go now." And they leave him, and of course, he's captured, beaten, tortured for a long time. And yeah, so the mission mattered more. I get it in the grand scheme of the story, but that doesn't negate the fact that here we are with another image of a black man putting his life on the line for someone who does not look like him and for the benefit of other people. Okay. Now you might say, well, excuse me, you might say, well, Neo went back to save Morpheus, which he did. The white woman and the white man went back to save Morpheus, and they indeed did save Morpheus. But now, here we go. He's the one, right? Morpheus would have died for the one because he believes that the one is his savior. Now you got this Jesus Christo, Caesar Borgia, Christ-like imagery and ideology being weaved into this movie. And now you have this black man who is so thankful that the one has come. So it just gets worse. So that we can't use that as some type of defense, man. And we got to realize that this stuff is written and produced in a particular way for a reason. This stuff is not by happenstance. Like somebody picked these characters. Somebody um wrote these scenes this way. Everything that you see on screen, whether it's TV or movie, was placed there on purpose and for a purpose. So don't ever fool yourself into believe that this is just par for the course, because it's not. Um, so yeah, man, you got this, and then on the other side of the sacrificial black man, you have the subservient black man. You got to put those kind of both in like right next to each other. And the subservient black man, he is he's really talented in a lot of these movies and or imagery. He's really talented, and they don't even have to be. It don't got to be movies, man. We can get into the whole sports talk, basketball, football, whatever, where your talent is there solely for other people's benefit, entertainment and benefit. Okay, excuse me, other people's benefit, and this is why you're there, right? So they're usually very intelligent individuals, and they use all of their technical prowess, scientific prowess, athletic prowess, or whatever else it is for the sole benefit of the other guy benefiting from it, right? Like Batman, Lucius Fox. Lucius Fox is a genius, right? He's a genius. He is making all of this. He's like the Q on James Bond, right? But he makes all of these gadgets and vehicles and all of these things for Batman. And he does it in such a way that he is literally upholding this man's company single-handedly, keeping this company from being taken over or bankrupt or whatever it is. I forget how the backstory is, but he's an integral part of that company not failing, and he's an integral part of keeping Batman alive, and he's an integral part of the whole Batman identity and his perceived capability. You extract Lucius Fox from there, and Bruce Wayne is down bad. He's down really bad without Lucius Fox there, right? So anyway, Lucius does this, and it's a clip where Lucius Fox is I forget how it goes. I may insert it here, but Lucius Fox, Batman says, "Yo, why are you doing this?" Or um man, he says, "Why are you doing this?" Or, "You don't have to do this," or whatever. And Lucius Fox gives some old, you know a subservient negro type of response.
Takes a better mind, a mind to fix it.
Better mind.
I was trying to be modest. A less busy mind. Yours.
Like, what are you even talking about right now, bro? That's not it, bro. That's not it. So he's using all of his brain power and all of his prowess for a Batman, right? But when you look at all of these other characters that are aligned with Batman, um when it's time for self-preservation, they do what they have to do for themselves. and other. That goes with Commissioner Gordon. That goes with Harvey Dent. That goes with that woman that was supposed to be the love interest. The other woman that watched him get his ass beat by Bane. Um, Whoever else. And they, when it came time to look after themselves or look after their own interests, they did that without question, without fail. And you know what the difference was? They looked like Bruce Wayne. Lucius Fox does not look like Bruce Wayne. And see, and that's what I mean. We come back to this again. And it's in what type of programming are they really trying to put out there for you? Right? They're gonna say, okay, this was abolished in 1865 or whatever, but we want you to keep this mentality throughout the centuries. And one way that they continue to do this is they put the imagery there. Now, you are you helping somebody or sacrificing or taking your talent to help people who are less fortunate to you, less capable of you. That is honorable, and I'm not saying that that's not honorable things to do. So don't get me wrong there, but at the same time, when you are foregoing your own self preservation and your self interest, and especially when those self interests are positive or they healthy or they could be healthy, then you know that's where we it gets critical. Um, Another show was The Boys. It's called The Boys on I think it's on Prime, Amazon Prime. The Boys. It was a short series. I think they might have got canceled. Some I'm not sure. Some whacked out superheroes going crazy, right? Some some famous superheroes who have a lot of issue. But anyway, it was a black character on there that was aligned with the main white character, and this man had a family, a daughter, and all of this stuff. And that white man kept asking him to risk his life and put his daughter on hold and his family on the line and all of this stuff to help him, and this man did it every time. He would buck against it. He would say no, this and that. But when it really came down to it, he chose that white man over his family damn near every time, bro. And that's just what it is. So yeah, man, you have this thing, and you have these subservient males, like Dwayne Wade, right? And not to throw that man under the bus, but it did pop in my head just his whole image of, you know, his subservient image to his wife and to the media and all of that stuff that he got going on over there in his personal life, where you could see that these decisions, or at least it looks that way. And and that's why I don't want to really get it, because I don't know that man personally, but it just looks from the outside looking in that he's in a subservient position, and he's not making the decisions that that are affecting his life and his family legacy. It's like somebody else is doing that, man. um who else can I think about? Um that Hancock. Well, do a Hancock. What's that? The Will Smith where he drunk and all of that. That might go with incompetent or something like that. Or I'm gonna leave that Hancock. I'm gonna leave that Hancock. I think I got another one for that. But Django. Django. Django is you know is one of those movies. I like Django. But it is one of those movies where you kind of get a mixed bag, right? But in Django, yeah, and then okay, it is is a movie based in foundation of slavery, so you're gonna see a lot of subservient things take place in that. But Django, for the most part, he was subservient to the man who taught him, how to kill. That's who he was subservient to. And then, uh, and then you had, then of course you had Samuel L. Jackson's character in there who was, uh, subservient to Leonardo DiCaprio's character on there. I can't forget these characters' names. So you had these people on here, and they sacrificed their lives for people that didn't look like them. That's who they were sacrificing their lives for. Now you would say, well, Django actually was sacrificing his life for his the love of his life, and there you go. She looked like him in skin tone, but she was not a black male. It's never sacrificing for another black male. That's my point. It's never even if that black male is you, the character is the character. He's not even sacrificing for himself. He's sacrificing for other people, and that's the main point, man. This subservient sacrificial imagery. It's horrible. That thing is horrible. And we were taught to do that. And we've been being taught to do that for a very long time. Which brings us to our sponsor scripture of the day, and that's going to be Second Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 15. Right? So it's been going on for a long time. All right. And that's one of those things that we got to fight against. There's nothing wrong with looking after yourself, man. There's nothing wrong, black man, for looking after yourself in your self-interest. Okay. Again, I am not saying be a selfish individual when you possess the ability to help other people. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it is not your job to put your life on the line or put your talent to use for solely for the purpose of other people's benefit. Okay, it's not. So that's one of those things that we got to fight against in our own mental state, and start projecting the imagery of something more balanced and more positive. And that's all I have for you today on Book 5, the channel that helps you live a more holistic life. This is your host, Jay Is, and I'll catch you next time in the book club.